Well, nothing happened. Today's the 8th. The eclipse came and went, right? I see, the world's thinking it was a big nothing burger, right? And they're not quite sure if they're in the tribulation or not. Well, the reason for that is because they haven't been reading the word. I mean, actually reading it. Getting the context. Doing their due diligence. Because if they had been, they would see we're deep in the tribulation. And all these magnificent things they've been waiting to happen, they've happened. It wasn't like they thought because they weren't reading the word. There's things happening every day that is prophecy being fulfilled. But they don't see it because they're not reading the word the way it needs to be read. They're not rolling their sleeves up and putting their Berean boots on. But I'm back. I'm going to get at least one chapter, maybe two of this Zechariah. I want to get this finished and I want to work it out with you. That's what we have to do. That's the only way home. Watch Abba, Yahuwah, slice and dice you and prove it to you once again. Ask Yahuwah for rain in the time of the latter rain. That's another thing. Who's asking? I mean, that's, yeah, there you go. He just confirmed everything I just said. Right there in that first sentence. This is the time, the latter days. And like I've been saying, most people, they'll tell you that. They'll say, yeah. But they don't see all that. They're like, well, where's all this and that happen? Except for the jabs, the roll up your sleever deal. They see that happened, but this stuff with Israel and everything, they're struck with blindness when it comes to all that. And if you can't see all those things about the image of the beast and everything, maybe you should ask Yahuwah for that latter rain. And asking, it's not praying every night and asking him to show you, but you never putting in the work to actually see it. You have to read the word. You have to look for the truth. He's not going to kidnap you like you think. The world thinks that they can just keep doing what they're doing, and he'll come kidnap me someday, and I'll end up in heaven. Like Twinkle Toes. It's silly. If you want to know, you're going to have to ask. And you might want to look up the definition of the word ask. This world with their TikTok, attention span, it's, I'll be surprised if very many know. They think if they just say, yeah, will you show me if this is true, but they never go in and do their own research, their own due diligence, and they never see, it's silly. This the people of the time, in this time, in these latter days, they're ridiculous. And he gives them showers of rain. If you ask, he's going to give it to you. The plants in the field to everyone. For the household idols spoke emptiness. The diviners saw falsehood. The diviners. We know what the diviners are. Divination. It's how it's the word diviners and divination. When he uses that word, he's talking about the ones that sold you the lie, the image of the beast. The diviners saw falsehood and relate dreams of deceit. They comfort in vain. Yeah, he's going to come pick us up one of these days, and you don't have to worry about going home and being with him right now. He'll come. You can take care of that later. What a joke. And anything that they're saying it can be easily debunked in a matter of seconds. I mean, just think about it. If they're saying they want to go home, but not right now, do they really want to go home? I mean, let's be honest. You're either about that life right now, or you're never going to be. And you can say you are all you want, but we'll know. They comfort in vain. Therefore they have wandered about like sheep. They are afflicted, for there is no shepherd. My wrath burns against the shepherds, and I lay a charge against the leaders. For Yahuwah of hosts shall visit his flock, the house of Yehuda, and make them like his splendid horse in battle. From him comes the cornerstone, from him the tent peg, from him the battle bow, from him every ruler together. And they shall be like mighty men who trample down the mud of the streets in the battle. Anyone who lives these men in these latter days, that's how they're going to make it to their escape, to life, is they're going to be trampling down the mud of the streets, trampling down the image of the beast, the lie about their home. They're suited and booted, baby, sleeves rolled up, and yeah, they're about that life. And they shall fight because Yahuwah is with them, and the riders on horses shall be put to shame. Put to shame. And I've been doing it right here. And if you had been paying attention, you'd have got to see it and witness how all those horses and their riders and their chariots got put to shame. But you probably don't even know what I'm talking about right now, do you? Yeah, that's right. And I shall make the house of Yehuda mighty, and save the house of Joseph. And I shall bring them back, because I have compassion on them. And they shall be as though I had not pushed them aside. For I am Yahuwah, their mighty most high, and I answer them. And Ephraim shall be as a mighty man, and their heart shall rejoice as if with wine. And their children shall see and rejoice, their heart exulting in Yahuwah. I shall whistle for them and gather them, for I shall ransom them, and they shall increase as they once increased. Though I sow them among peoples, they shall remember me in places far away, and they shall live together with their children, and they shall return. They shall live, and they shall return. If you don't return, you ain't gonna live. I can guarantee you that, and I can prove it. If you don't want to return now, even if you got your wish, if that wish you wished upon a star that you could just keep rocking it out in Babylon, even though you don't think you're in Babylon, but you can stay where you want, and you think that's just a metaphor about coming out, and you really don't have to come out all the way. You can just stay where you are, and that he's going to kidnap you someday. You're either going to get zapped up one day in a rapture, or you'll just die. You'll live your life out here, die, and when you die, as soon as you die, you'll open your eyes and you're in heaven, and he's going to be welcoming you into the kingdom. Even if you got that granted to you, you wouldn't want to go then, because you don't want to go now. You'd want to go back with everybody else and to your house and doing what you're doing right now. Proof's in the pudding, and you can't hide the pudding. And I shall bring them back from the land of Egypt, Mitzrayim, and gather them from Ashur, and bring them into the land of Gilad and Lebanon, until no more room is found for them. And he shall pass through the sea of distress, and strike the waves of the sea, and all the depths of the rivers shall dry up, and the pride of Ashur shall be brought down, and the scepter of Mitzrayim be taken away. And I shall make them mighty in Yahuwah, so that they walk up and down in his name, declares Yahuwah. That last verse, verse 12, that's what he's talking about in verse 11. How you live, it'll be in returning, and what you'll be doing, you'll be slicing and dicing with the word through the scepter of Egypt, of Mitzrayim and Ashur. All that stupidity, you'll walk through it and see through all that nonsense and come home. You'll see the image of the beast. You'll see the reign of the earth right now and what they are and how you've been lied to. And you'll see where the true place is, and you'll come home. You'll walk, and you'll be like a mighty man. And if you ain't doing none of that, you can say you're mighty all you want. You're not. You're a prisoner. You've been taken captive, and you like it there. You don't want the key to come out. Open your doors, O Lebanon, and let fire devour your cedars. Howl, O Cyprus, for the cedar has fallen, because the mighty are ravaged. There you go. See how he always got my back. Oh, howl, O oaks of Bashan, for the dense forest has come down. Listen, the howling of shepherds, for their splendor is ravaged. Listen, the roaring of lions, for the pride of the Yarden, is ravaged. Thus said Yahuwah, my mighty Most High, feed the flock for slaughter, whose owners kill them and feel no guilt, and their sellers say, blessed be Yahuwah, for I have become rich, and their own shepherds do not spare them. That lets you know what the blind and the people who are on their way to destruction look like. That's one characteristic, tool you can use to identify who it is. It's people who think they're rich and they got it going on, like Donkey Kong. For I shall no longer spare the inhabitants of the land, declares Yahuwah, but see, I am delivering up mankind, each one into his neighbor's hand and into the hand of his sovereign. And they shall crush the earth, but I do not deliver from their hand. So I shepherded the flock meant for slaughter, the truly poor of the flock. See? Thank you, Abba. And I took for myself 2 staffs. The one I called pleasantness, and the other I called unity, and I shepherded the flock. Unity, remember? We've talked about that word quite a bit, ain't we? You don't see any, do you? You see all kinds of lip service. Then I sent off the 3 shepherds in 1 month, for my being despised them, and their being also loathed me. So I said, I am not shepherding you. Let the dying die, and the straying stray, and let those who are left eat each other's flesh. And that's my mood today, really. And I'm just being honest. I don't want to be that way. But it's madness. And I don't know how to, some days, every day I have a hard time dealing with it. Dealing with a bunch of people with their nose up in the air, acting like they know and got the answers, which is fine. If you got the answers, let's hear them. But they don't want to tell me what they are, and they don't want me to show them what I'm talking about. They don't want to talk about it. They want a TikTok video that's over in 20 seconds. That's all they want. They laugh at actually rolling your sleeves up. They don't, the only due diligence the only thing they're diligent in is TikTok, the money, relaxation, comfort, complacency. It's madness. So I hate feeling that way, but what do I do? What do you do? And I took my staff, pleasantness, and cut it into 2 to break the covenant which I had made with all the peoples. So it was broken on that day, and the poor of the flock who were watching me knew that it was the word of Yahuwah. Boom, there you go. The poor of the flock who were watching me, therefore, reading all this, going through all this, and I'm not doing enough. I agree with you. I'm not doing enough, but according to most, it's way too much. And they don't even get close to opening these books up with me. We see them Nikes every time. We see this word. That's what I was saying out the gate in this video. What I've been saying. They knew that it was the word of Yahuwah. I've been watching it. I see all this. We are in the tribulation. And you know how the tribulation is? It's not going to be how we always thought it would be. What I feel, what I've seen from the word, I know we return, and I know everything's going to be destroyed, but how that process of destruction looks, that's above my pay grade. How that's going to look, I don't know. All I know is follow the golden rule, and that's come home and love, and just be there, be committed and trustworthy, show up early, leave late, don't leave, stay and get this done and be who you claim to be. And as long as you do that, it doesn't matter what time. We're here living with the Most High. It doesn't matter when the world gets destroyed and all that stuff happens. All that matters is that we're here living with this whole word, what we claim to be, what we claim to want to do, doing it, actually. You see, the world's so mad. They say they want to do it, but they tell you out the other side of their mouth they do not want to do it. They don't even want to read the word about it. They don't want to hear it. And the only word they do want to hear is those comforting words. It comforts them. It validates them. They feel validated. They're like, they go and hear those preachers say things like, you're going to be blessed today. And then they go home and they feel like they're going to be blessed. And if they get a big wad of cash, they swear up and down that the Most High blessed them. And that couldn't be further from the truth. That is the opposite of a blessing. The opposite. All that money is going to do, and all that's going to do is just take you further down into Sheol. And if it was to come home and do what the Bible says, well, I mean, what we're supposed to do, then yeah, it would be a blessing. But if it's just to convince you even further, even more, to just not even care about all that, it's destruction. It's destruction, death. And I said to them, if it is good in your eyes, give me my wages, and if not, refrain. So they weighed out for my wages 30 pieces of silver. That's what they think. That's what the world thinks. He's like, yeah, look at this truth about the kingdom. You can come have it. Look at, here it is. The whole book, all the Bible and what they took out, I put all your instructions in there on what to do, and it tells you that there'll be an imposter, find out about it, find your true home, come home on the feast days, you'll live, and if you don't, you're going to die someday. And it ain't about the Benjamins, baby. That's nothing to do with it. Yeah, I'll take care of you, but your mind, your priorities have to be in order. And he showed the world that, and that's not what they want. It's not good enough for them. So to them, really, in reality, that he really ain't worth a bag of 30 pieces of silver, really. And Yahuwah said to me, throw it to the potter, the splendid price at which I was valued by them. And I took the 30 pieces of silver and threw them into the house of Yahuwah for the potter. Then I cut in two my other staff, unity, to break the brotherhood between Yehuda and Yasharal. And Yahuwah said to me, take again the implements of a foolish shepherd. For look, I am raising up a shepherd in the land who does not visit those straying, nor seek the young, nor heal those that are broken, nor feed those that still stand. But he does eat the flesh of the fat and tear off their hoofs. Woe to the worthless shepherd forsaking the flock. Let a sword be upon his arm, and upon his right eye. His arm shall wither, and his right eye shall be dimmed. That's what you're getting. That's that man of lawlessness, all that. You're getting lies. Chapter 12, next time. If you're serious.